Well, a big reveal this month puts the Motown Museum in its last phase of its big expansion. It's a $65 million project. It's getting closer to completion, and I just caught up just a short time ago with the CEO of the Motown Museum, Robin Terry.
It's so good to see you, Robin. It must be very exciting to be able to put out phase three. What is running through your mind right now?
I'm excited. I'm also slightly exhausted because we have been just anticipating, this final phase of the expansion, and we know that the community has been waiting on it. So we're looking forward to getting that, started in the spring.
Before we get to some of the exact things that will happen in this last phase, just overall, the project, $65 million, the expansion of it, and really making it what you said is an international museum. We take for
Yeah.
granted that it's right in the backyard here in Motown, but the ability to draw from all around the world and bring the prominence really to the Motown sound that it deserves to be has also got to be an amazing feeling.
It is. We often say that Hitsville is a local attraction. It is a national landmark, but it's an international tourist destination. And so to create a space for all of those communities, whether it's the folks in the neighborhood where this museum is, or if it's people from all around the world who travel to Detroit as tourists specifically to come to Hitsville, USA, providing an experience that's memorable for them and that is that matches the value and the worth that Motown certainly deserves. Is just very important to us.
And I think what is also wonderful is concentration on the next generation too of performers and songwriters and singers in the Motown sound. And I guess the excitement surrounding that as well to continue for generations is something that stands out.
So, just recently we were able to share with a room full of our donors and partners some of the incredible talent coming out of Hitsville Next. And for folks who don't know what Hitsville Next is, it was the first phase of the expansion. And it really is a community that we've created very similar to Motown with artists and singers and songwriters and musicians who collaborate with one another. We provide a lot of artist development for them, which was really the cornerstone of Motown, what made it different and differentiated it from other labels. But we brought that back in Detroit, right here at Hitsville Next, and the talent was incredible. So that, what you're saying about, the history is the inspiration, but we've now activated that inspiration in Hitsville Next in a new way that's just creating new vibrance for the artist community in Detroit.
Talk to us about now phase three. What can we expect to see and the timeline? I know everything was delayed a little bit, as sometimes projects can be, but what are we looking at now with this phase?
So what we also shared with our partners, we were very fortunate to get a $10 million HUD grant that Senator Stabenow championed for us. But what we learned as we got that is that it also comes with a lot of requirements, environmental, just to make sure that the ground that you're building on is safe. So it's all good, but it did delay some of our construction, which is why we're now planning to start up in the spring instead of this past fall. But this is the final phase, and this is really where the immersive exhibit experience happens. We shared a little bit of that. What's really special for me with this new exhibit space is that, we are allowing the artists, the musicians, the alumni, the family members at Motown to tell their own stories. And that's really special because that means as a fan, you get to hear first person about what happened and how this incredible music legacy was created in Detroit. So a lot of the immersive experiences are just that. You're hearing directly from the folks who made all of that magic. And then, of course, we have our wonderful theater and cafe and retail that we look forward to bringing to the city as well.
You can't discount the powerful nature of the retelling of a lot of those stories
Yeah.
and hearing them.
and bringing live music, quite frankly, back into the neighborhoods. Our theater, our Ford Motor Company Theater, which is a space that, I've been chomping at the bits to get, I'm excited about that. It will allow us to bring live music, back in the neighborhoods so that on your way home from work or you can stop and have a cup of coffee, listen to live local bands. It's just important to have Detroit, reclaim its space, its rightful space as the music mecca in the world.
All right, so give us a little bit of the detail in terms of timeline for this next phase.
Well, I can only tell you that we're going to get started in August. We have been very grateful for the response that we've gotten to fundraising for this project. It is a $65 million project. We have raised $59 million to date from extremely generous donors who believe in this project. They believe in the city of Detroit. But we're not done. And so, I'm always extremely cautious because I know what this project means to this community, about saying when it's done, but it will be done when we've raised all of the dollars, to complete the construction.
Sometimes when we're in the middle of a huge project like that, sometimes you can only see a little bit what's in front of you, or you're caught with a lot of the work. But what brings you a lot of pride as you step back and see how this has unfolded over the last several years?
What gives me so much pride, and honestly, it fuels my tank, is really two things. One is seeing the look on the eyes of the alumni, in the eyes of the alumni, as they see that their stories are going to live on, that their legacies are going to live on. We've lost so many people. And so, every day I get up and I'm like, come on, we can get this done. Let's get this done because I don't want to lose anybody else, before they get a chance to walk through those doors. The second thing, it's the talent, the young people who are coming through Hitsville next, so inspired by the legacy of Motown, now creating their own histories and creating their own career paths, and our being able to pour into them, not just with our staff, but our programs include our Motown alum. They work with Mickey Stevenson and Paul Reiser, and the Holland Dozier and Holland. They're all a part of the work we do. So it's a really unique opportunity that we get to bring to talent in Detroit. So those two things drive me every day.
I love it. And I know that there's a lot of work still ahead, but it is going to be amazing to see how it all unfolds. And we appreciate the time. It's so good to see you.
It's so good to see you. And anytime, I'm happy to share the good news.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.